guys. Hi. Hello, sir. How are you doing? How are you doing, guys? My name is Nadia Yakumusa, and I'm a student at Karate University. I am a first year master's degree student at the Department of International Relations and Political Science and International Relations. Sorry. Today I'm here to present. Today I'm here to present my final exams graduation homework of the first trimester of the conflict conflict resolution courses. Today I'm going to explain in, this article, which titled as Burundi's conflict intervention design during the 1990s. Here we go, sir. Here we go. In the first part, we're going to see the historical context of Burundi's conflict pre-1990s. The roots of the Burundi conflict trace back to its colonial past and the ethnic division exacerbated by both colonial and post-colonial regimes. Gaining independence from Belgium in 1962, Burundi's political landscape was marred by recurring violence and power struggles. Ethnic tensions between the Hutu majority 85% and the Tutsi minority 14% were deepened by policies that allowed a kinship-oriented elite among the Tutsi to dominate political, economic, and military resources. This dynamic fueled multiple violent outbreaks in the 1965, 1972, 1988, 1991, and 1991. The situation worsened with the assassination of the first democratically elected Hutu president, Melchior Ndadaye, in 1993, plunging the country into a civil war that lasted over a decade. The inability of political elites to establish effective institutions further entrenched the cycle of violence, resulting in over 300,000 deaths and the displacement of millions. This presentation seeks to analyze the Burundi conflict during the 1990s through the lens of Sandoli's three-pillar conflict analysis model. It focused on identifying the conflict's causes, conditions, and dynamics at various levels while proposing third-party intervention strategies to achieve positive peace. First, we are going to explain the Sandoli's three-pillar model. First pillar, conflict elements. This pillar examines the fundamental components of a conflict, including the parties involved, primary, secondary, and third parties, the issue in contention, resources, relations, and structures, and the objective of the conflict parties. It is also considered the methods used, negotiation or violence, the environment in which the conflict occurs, and the orientation of the actors toward either conflict or resolution. Second pillar, causes and conditions. It examines the causes and conditions. This pillar delves into the root causes and enabling conditions of conflict categorized across four levels of analysis. First, individual level. Second, societal level. Third, international level. And fourth, ecological level. The third pillar is intervention. This pillar focuses on third-party involvement in conflict resolution, addressing their objectives, prevention, management, or transformation of the conflict, and approaches competitive against cooperative methods, track 1 against track 2 diplomas. It emphasized the need for a tolerated intervention strategy that aligns with the specific dynamics and levels of the conflict. This is a visual representation of the Sandoli's three-pillar conflict analysis model, showing the structure and the key component of the framework. This is a more detailed billard. This is a more detailed about the Sandolese tree billard. Key actors, conflict elements. The different conflict elements are the key actors, primary parties. The primary parties are government of Burundi, ethnic groups, Hutu and the Tutsi, and the third one are the armed forces and civilian population. Second parties are the neighboring countries, Hutu and Tutsi groups, and the regional international actors, South Africa, United States, France, Belgium, Canada. Third party are international organization, United Nations, Organization of African Unity, African Union, European Union, individual mediator and facilitators. The issues are structural disparities, ethnic tension between Hutu and Tutsi, political and economic power struggles, and fourth, resources allocation. Objectives. The objectives are both Hutu and Tutsi factions aimed for political and economic dominance, self-prevention, preservation against perceived threats. Means violent confrontation, including armed attacks and counterattacks, forced displacement, assassinations, military coups, environment, a highly competitive and hostile atmospheres, ineffective internal mechanism for conflict resolution, significant involvement of external actors. Understanding these elements is crucial for developing effective intervention strategies that address the root causes and dynamic of the conflict. The second pillar, causes and conditions. A clear conflict analysis under pillar 2 reveals the causes and conditions at 4 interconnected levels. At the individual level, unmet human needs such as identity, recognition, and security can lead to psychological dissonance and relative deprivation. The societal level emphasizes political inequalities, economic disparities, and socio-psychological factors like stereotypes and intergroup biases. The international level incorporates the impact of colonial history, regional spillover, and real politics strategies. Lastly, the ecological level highlights issues such as resource scarcity, overpopulation, and environmental degradation. Together, these layers create a self-perpetuating cycle of conflict, emphasizing the need for holistic intervention addressing all dimensions simultaneously. This chart illustrates the interconnection of causes and conditions across 4 levels of conflict analysis in Pillar 2. Each level is linked to specific causes and conditions that influence conflict dynamics. The third pillar, conflict intervention, the Arusha Agreement. The Arusha Agreement, officially known as the Arusha Peace and Reconciliation Agreement for Burundi, is a pivotal framework for conflict intervention and peace building in Burundi. Signed in 2000, it marked the culmination of a structured negotiation process mediated by Tanzanian President Julius Nyerere and later South African President Nelson Mandela. The agreement involved key players including the Burundian government, National Assembly, political parties, and regional and international stakeholders like the UN, the OAU, the AU, and the neighboring states. It comprised five protocols addressing the root causes and conditions of the conflict. The first protocol focused on the nature of the conflict and solution to exclusion and genocide. The second protocol emphasized democracy, good governance, and transitional reforms. The third protocol aimed to achieve peace and security through ceasefire agreements and cessation of violence. The fourth fire dealt with reconstruction and socio-economic development, while fifth fire outlined implementation mechanism and monitoring. Despite its comprehensive approach to addressing political, social, and economic grievances, the agreement faced significant challenges, including the exclusion of the key armed Houthi groups, slow implementation, and limited mechanism for justice and reconciliation. Nonetheless, it served as a crucial step toward conflict resolution and transformation in Burundi. Strengths of the Arusha Agreement. The Arusha Agreement, as a peace-building initiative, stands out for its ambitious and inclusive approach to addressing the root causes of Burundi's decades-long conflict. One of its most notable strengths was its emphasis on institutional reform to ensure power sharing and equitable representation between Houthi and Tutsi groups. By incorporating provisions for constitutional, judicial, administrative, and military reforms, the agreement sought to create a framework for sustainable governance and justice. The fifth protocol within the agreement addressed critical issues such as genocide prevention, democracy, socio-economic development, and transitional justice, laying the groundwork for lasting peace. Furthermore, the involvement of regional and international actors as co-signatories provide legitimacy, moral support, and a sense of accountability for all stakeholders, making the agreement a collaborative regional effort for conflict resolution. Another positive aspect of the Arusha Agreement was its focus on transitional mechanism to rebuild Burundi's fractured society by advocating for the integration of refugees, equitable distribution of resources, and prevention for future atrocities. The agreement sought to foster national reconciliation. The inclusion of transitional structures and the establishment of commissions such as the Truth and Reconciliation Commissions aim to address historical injustice and heal societal division. Additionally, the international community's commitment to provide technical material and financial assistance reinforced the peace-building process, offering Burundi external support needed to implement reforms and rebuild its socio-political fabric. The weakness of the Arusha Agreement. Despite its ambitious objective, the Arusha Agreement faced critical shortcomings, particularly regarding inclusivity, the exclusion of key Houthi armed groups such as the CNDD, FDD, and the Balibé Houthi FNL from the negotiation severely limited its ability to achieve a comprehensive peace. This exclusion delayed the ceasefire process and prolonged the violence, undermining the agreement's effectiveness as a conflict resolution tool. Moreover, the agreement's focus on political elites rather than broader societal involvement raised concerns about its representativeness and inclusiveness. The absence of the grassroots participation limited the legitimacy and long-term viability of the peace process, as many Burundians felt disconnected from the decision being made of their behalf. Implementation challenge further weakened the impact of the Arusha Agreement. The lack of clear mechanisms and timelines for executing key preventions such as power sharing and transitional governance left significant gaps in the post-agreement phase. First, delays and disagreements over the agreement's term, coupled with accusations of secret amendments and alliances, eroded trust among stakeholders. The prioritization of elite interest over substantive reform combined these issues, preventing the agreement from addressing the structural inequalities and grievances that had fueled the conflict. While the Arusha Agreement marked a significant step toward peace in Burundi, its limitation in inclusiveness and implementation underscored the complexity of post-conflict resolution. Its strength, including institutional reform and transitional mechanisms, provide a framework for addressing historical injustice for fostering governance. However, its failure to include key rebel factions and its challenge in translating ambitious goals into actionable policies highlight the importance of designing comprehensive and participatory agreements. For peace-building initiative to succeed, they must balance high-level negotiation with grassroots engagements and ensure robust mechanisms for implementation, accountability, and inclusivity. Conflict intervention, three-pillared model and Arusha experience. First, addressing the root causes of conflict. Building the Arusha framework, a successful intervention must tackle the root causes and structural violence within Burundian society. This includes dismantling system inequality in resources distribution, education and political representation, affirmative action and equitable access to opportunities for marginalized groups, especially the Houthi population, are vital for fostering trust and ensuring parity. Second thing, integrating vertical or horizontal approaches. Michel Lend's model suggests vertical integration, local to global conflict resolution system, a horizontal coordination among actors of each level. Efforts should harmonize local peace initiatives with regional and international support, ensuring cohesive across various stakeholders. This integration creates a resilient framework for both immediate peace and long-term stability. Third, leveraging track 1 and track 2 intervention. The track 1, governmental and military track, and the track 2, non-governmental and community-based strategies are complementary. Armed peacekeeping forces should enforce ceasefires, while grassroots efforts like community dialogues and problem-solving workshops can promote mutual understanding and reconciliation between Houthi and Tutsi groups. Fostering positive peace through justice and reconciliation. The transition from negative to positive peace requires justice mechanisms addressing past grievances and preventing future conflicts, both retributive, special tribunal for war crimes, and restorative approaches, truth and reconciliation commission, are essential. These methods aim to heal societal wounds and establish accountability. Fifth, economic incentive and sanctions. The international communities should tie economic aid, trade opportunities, and technical assistance to the government's progress in implementing the peace agreement. Reducing Burundi's dependency on limited exports like coffee and tea can diversify its economy, mitigate external influences, and build a more sustainable economic base. Educational and media reforms. Educational reforms and media campaigns should focus on reducing stereotypes and promoting shared national identity. Mass media can serve as a powerful tool for peace building provided avoids fostering ethnic hatred. Educational programs should emphasize equality, shared history, and cooperative values. Regional cooperative and institutional strengthening. Strengthening sub-regional initiatives in the Great Lakes region can address interconnected challenges such as resources, scarcity, and ethnic divisions. Regional organizations like the African Union should adopt clear criteria for intervention in internal conflicts, prioritizing principles of non-indifference and collaborative problem solving. 8. Reintegration of and humanitarian assistance. Rehabilitation, resettlement, and reintegration policies for displaced persons are critical. Providing basic needs like food, healthcare, and shelter fosters conditions where reconciliation can thrive. Coordinated efforts in relations and villages. Reconstruction can be also transform adversarial relations into cooperative ones, building a united future. These multi-phased approaches ensure the promotion of justice, reconciliation, and sustainable peace in Burundi, drawing lessons from the success and challenge of the Arusha Agreement. To sum up, the conflict intervention process in Burundi, informed by the Arusha Agreement, demonstrates the need for addressing both negative and positive peace comprehensively. Structural violence, including economic inequality, political exclusion, and social discrimination, has been identified as a critical factor. The agreement underscored the necessity of tackling the root causes and conflict at individual, societal, and international levels. It combined competitive and cooperative strategies alongside Track 1 governmental and Track 2 non-governmental intervention to address violence and create a framework for sustainable peace. Achieving positive peace in Burundi requires a multi-faceted approach that integrates justice mechanism, reconciliation efforts, and structural reforms. Key initiatives include establishing truth and reconciliation commissions, providing economic incentive, and ensuring equal political representation. Addressing the psychological dimension of conflicts such as the hate speech and enemy image is also essential to heal deep societal wounds and foster lasting harmony between the Hutu and Tutsi population. Long-term commitment is vital for the success of any intervention. Sustainable peace building demands continuous effort in governance reform, capacity building, and societal re-education. International cooperation plays a crucial role in providing technical, financial, and political support. Regional partnership, as exemplified by the Arusha process, demonstrate the effectiveness of cooperative efforts among neighboring states to address interconnected challenges. Ultimately, the Burundian society itself holds the key to a peaceful future. The people, having coexisted for centuries, must lead the charge in rebuilding trust, pushing for inclusive governance, and promoting shared values. External support should facilitate these efforts without undermining local ownerships, ensuring that intervention resonate with the needs and aspirations of all stakeholders. holders. That was all. Thank you for listening and for your time.